Hi, my name is Christian. Today we are diving into some curriculum from freeCodeCamp, namely the JavaScript Algorithms and Data Structures certification, beginning with basic JavaScript. So, as you can see, I've already completed a little bit of it, but we're going to start from step 1 and move forward from there. Cool. All right, step 1. Comment your JavaScript code. Comments are lines of code that JavaScript will intentionally ignore. Comments are a great way to leave notes to yourself and other people who will later need to figure out what that code does. There are 2 ways to write comments in JavaScript. Using / will tell JavaScript to ignore the remainder of the text on the current line. This is an inline comment. It shows an inline comment. You then make a multi-line comment beginning with /* and ending with */. This is a multi-line comment. It shows one below. Note, as you write code, you should regularly add comments to clarify the function of parts of your code. Good commenting can help communicate the intent of your code, both for others and for your future self. Try creating one of each type of comment. All right. We do inline comment. And then multi-line comment. All right. Declare JavaScript variables. In computer science, data is anything that is meaningful to the computer. JavaScript provides 8 different data types, which are undefined, null, Boolean, string, symbol, big int, number, and object. For example, computers distinguish between numbers such as 12 and strings such as 12 in quotes or dog, 1, 2, 3 cats, which are collections of characters. Computers can perform mathematical operations on a number, but not on a string. Variables allow computers to store and manipulate data in a dynamic fashion. They do this by using a label to point to the data rather than using the data itself. Any of the 8 data types may be stored in a variable. Variables are similar to the x and y variables you use in mathematics, which means they're a simple name to represent the data we want to refer to. Computer variable is different from mathematical variables in that they can store different values at different times. We tell JavaScript to create or declare a variable by putting the keyword var in front of it like so. Var our name creates a variable called our name. In JavaScript, we end statements with semicolons. Variable names can be made up of numbers, letters, and $ or underscore, but may not contain spaces or start with a number. Use the var keyword to create a variable called myName. So we can do it like so. Without a space. Camel cased. Semicolon. Control Enter. All right. Storing values with the assignment operator. In JavaScript, you can store a variable in a variable with the assignment operator, which looks like an equal sign. My variable is assigned 5. This assigns the number value 5 to my variable. If there are any calculations to the right of the assignment operator, those are performed before the value is assigned to the variable on the left of the operator. My var is assigned 5. First, this code creates a variable named myVar, then the code assigns 5 to myVar. Now if myVar appears again in the code, the program will treat it as if it is 5. Assign the value 7 to variable a. Okay, so here we have variable a declared. Now we can assign it to 7. After a value is assigned to a variable using the assignment operator, you can assign the value of that variable to another variable using the assignment operator. Var myVar is assigned 5. Var mynum is assigned myVar. The above declares a myVar variable with no value, then assigns it the value of 5. Next, a variable named mynum is declared with no value. Then the contents of myVar, which is 5, is assigned to the variable mynum. Now mynum also has the value of 5. Assign the contents of a to variable b. So we start with the variable we want to have the value assigned to it on the left and the value being assigned on the right. Initializing variables with the assignment operator. It is common to initialize a variable to an initial value in the same line as it is declared. Var myVar is assigned 0, creates a new variable called myVar and assigns it an initial value of 0. Define a variable a with var and initialize it to a value of 9. Like so. Declare string variables. Previously, you used the following code to declare a variable. Var myname, semicolon, but you can also declare a string variable like this. Var myname, assignment operator, your name. Your name is called a string literal. A string literal or string is a series of 0 or more characters enclosed in single or double quotes. Create 2 new string variables, my first name and my last name, and assign them the values of your first and last name respectively. So for me, it would follow as so. Understanding uninitialized variables. When JavaScript variables are declared, they have an initial value of undefined. If you do a mathematical operation on an undefined variable, your result will be not a number, or nan, which means not a number. If you concatenate a string with an undefined variable, you will get a string of undefined. And initialize the 3 variables a, b, and c with 5, 10, and I am a, respectively, so they will not be undefined. All right. So here we have declarations with no initialization. A, 5, b, initialized to 10, and c, initialized to the string I am a. Now, operations can be performed with those variables now they have a value that is not undefined. Understanding case sensitivity in variables. In JavaScript, all variables and function names are case sensitive. This means that capitalization matters. myvar is not the same as myvar nor myvar. It is possible to have multiple distinct variables with the same name but different casing. It is strongly recommended that for the sake of clarity, you do not use this language feature. Best practice. Write variable names in JavaScript in camel case. In camel case, multi-word variable names have the first word in lowercase and the first letter of each subsequent word is capitalized. Examples: var some variable, var another variable name, var this variable name is so long. Modify the existing declarations and assignments so their names use camel case. Do not create any new variables. Okay, so here we have a var declared using very sarcastic casing. Proper camel case. This lowercase. Boom. Okay. And now being reassigned down here, which will throw an error because these have not been declared. Properly. Okay. Explore differences between the var and let keywords. One of the biggest problems with declaring variables with the var keyword is that you can easily overwrite variable declarations. Var camper is assigned James. Var camper is assigned David. Console log camper. In the code above, the camper variable is originally declared as James and is then overwritten to be David. The console then displays the string David. In a small application, you might not run into this type of problem. But as your code base becomes larger, you might accidentally overwrite a variable that you did not intend to. Because this behavior does not throw an error, searching for and fixing bugs becomes more difficult. A keyword called let was introduced in ECMAScript 6, a major update to JavaScript, to solve this potential issue with the var keyword. You'll learn about other ECMAScript 6 features in later challenges. If you replace var with let in the code above, it results in an error. The error can then be seen in your browser console. So unlike var, when you use a let variable with the same name, excuse me. So unlike var, when you use let, a variable with the same name can only be declared once. Update the code so it only uses the let keyword. Replace var with let. Declare a read-only variable with the const keyword. The keyword let is not the only new way to declare variables. In ES6, you can also declare variables using the const keyword. Const has all of the awesome features that let has, with the added bonus that the variables declared using const are read-only. They are a constant value, which means that once a variable is assigned with const, it cannot be reassigned. Const favepet is assigned cats. Favepet assigned dogs. The console will display an error due to the reassigning of the value favepet. You should always name variables you don't want to reassign using the const keyword. This helps when you accidentally attempt to reassign a variable that is meant to stay constant. It is common for developers to use uppercase variable identifiers for immutable values or lowercase or camel case for mutable values, objects, and arrays. You will learn more about objects, arrays, and immutable and mutable values in later challenges. Also in later challenges, you will see examples of uppercase, lowercase, or camel case variable identifiers. Change the code so that all variables are declared using the let or const. Use let when you want the variable to change and const when you want the variable to remain constant. Also rename variables declared with const to conform to common practices. Do not change the strings assigned to the variables. So here we have var fcc. We could change this one to const and change its casing to all capitals to reflect the fact that it is a constant value that we want to be immutable. And we also change it where it is plugged into console log over here. We change var to let. And we can leave that one lowercase since it is a mutable value. Cool. Add two numbers with JavaScript. Number is a data type in JavaScript which represents numeric data. Now let's try to add two numbers using JavaScript. JavaScript uses the plus symbol as an addition operator when placed between two numbers. Const myVar is assigned 5 plus 10. My var has the value 15. Change the zeros so the sum will equal 20. So we have const sum is assigned 10 plus 0. We want it to equal 20, so we're going to change 0 to 10. Subtract one number from another with JavaScript. We can also subtract one number from another. JavaScript uses the minus symbol for subtraction. Example, const myVar is assigned 12 minus 6. MyVar would have the value 6. Change the 0 so the difference is 12. We subtract 33 from 45 to give us 12. Fantastic. Multiply two numbers with JavaScript. We can also multiply one number by another. JavaScript uses the asterisk or star symbol for multiplication of two numbers. Example, const myVar is assigned 13 times 13. MyVar would have the value 169. Change the 0 so the product will be equal to 80. So we have const product is assigned 8 times 0. We want it to be 80, so we change the 0 to a 10. And there we go. Divide one number by another with JavaScript. We can also divide one number by another. JavaScript uses the / symbol for division. Example, const myVar is assigned 16 / 2. MyVar now has the value 8. Change the 0 so that the quotient is equal to 2. So we want a quotient of 2. We have const quotient is assigned 66 divided by 0. We want it to be 2, so we divide by 33. And there we go. Increment a number with JavaScript. You can easily increment or add 1 to a variable with the ++ operator or increment operator. I++ is the equivalent of I is assigned I plus 1. The entire line becomes I++, eliminating the need for the equal sign. Change the code so that to use the increment operator on myVar. Let myVar be assigned 87. Only change the line below this code. MyVar is assigned myVar plus 1, which we can replace with myVar increment operator. Awesome. Decrement a number with JavaScript. You can easily decrement or decrease a variable by 1 with the decrement operator. I minus is the equivalent of I is assigned I minus 1. The entire line becomes I decrement, eliminating the need for the equal sign. Change the code to use the decrement operator on myVar. Let myVar be assigned 11. We change the code below this line. MyVar is assigned myvar -1, which we can replace with myvar decrement operator. Create decimal numbers with JavaScript. We can store decimal numbers and variables too. Decimal numbers are sometimes referred to as floating point numbers or floats. When you compute numbers, they are computed with finite precision. Operations using floating points may lead to different results than the desired outcome. If you are getting one of these results, open a topic on the freeCodeCamp forum. Create a variable myDecimal and give it a decimal value of the fractional part, e.g. 5.7. Yep, so for the math with floats, definitely be sure you understand that before you're computing anything important, because the way computers work with floating point numbers is not exactly intuitive. So we're creating a new variable with a fractional value. All right, multiply two decimals with JavaScript. In JavaScript, you can also perform calculations with decimal numbers, just like whole numbers. Let's multiply two decimals together to get their product. Change the 0.0 so the product will be equal to 5. Let's see, const product is 2.0 multiplied by 0.0. We want it to be 5, so 2 times 2.5 will give us 5. Divide one decimal by another with JavaScript. Now let's divide one decimal by another. Change the 0.0 so the quotient will be equal to 2.2. Okay, so quotient 0 divided by 2, we want the quotient to be 2.2, so 4.4 divided by 2 will give us a quotient of 2.2. Finding a remainder in JavaScript. The remainder operator gives the remainder of the division of two numbers. Example, 5 remainder 2 is 1, 5 divided by 2 is 2 remainder 1. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, 5 minus 4 is 1. Usage in mathematics, a number can be checked to be odd or even, checking the remainder of the division of the number by 2. Even numbers have a remainder of 0, while odd numbers have a remainder of 1. Note, the remainder operator, sometimes incorrectly referred to as the modulus operator, is very similar to modulus, but does not work properly with negative numbers, being that modulus gives us the absolute value of the remainder, while remainder gives us the positive or negative value. Set remainder equal to the remainder of 11 divided by 3. Okay, remainder of 11 divided by 3. 11 remainder 3. Compound assignment with augmented addition. In programming, it's common to use assignments to modify the contents of a variable. Remember that everything to the right of the equal sign is evaluated first. So we can say myvar is assigned myvar plus 5, add 5 to myvar. Since it's just such a common pattern, there are operators which do both a mathematical operation and assignment in one step. One such operator is the plus equals operator. Let myvar be assigned 1, myvar plus equal 5, console log myvar, 6 would be displayed on the console. Convert the assignments for A, B, and C to use the plus equals operator. So we have A, B, and C declared, A, B, and C assigned. Down here we want to condense this syntax to use the plus equals operator. A plus equals 12 for a new value of 15. C, B plus equals 9 for a new value of 26. And C plus equals 7 for a new value of 19. Compound assignment with augmented subtraction. Like the plus equal operator, minus equal subtracts a number from a variable. My var is assigned myvar minus 5. We'll subtract 5 from myvar. This can be rewritten as myvar minus equals 5. Convert the assignments for a, b, and c to use the minus equals operator. So we have a, b, and c declared. And we have them assigned down here, condensing the syntax to use minus equals. A minus equals 6 for a new value of 5. B minus equal 15, new value of negative 6. C minus equal 1 for a new value of 2. Compound assignment with augmented multiplication. This is a multiplication equal operator, multiplies equal, stored the answer recently. Times equals. The times equal operator multiplies a variable by a number. MyVar is assigned MyVar times 5. We'll multiply MyVar by 5. This can be rewritten as MyVar times equals 5. Convert the assignments for A, B, and C to use the times equal operator. So we have A, B, and C initialized. And they were initialized before. I think I was just saying declared, but declared plus assigned in the same line as 5, 12, and 4.6 respectively. And then we have some syntax over here that can be replaced with the times equal operator. A times equals 5 for a new value of 25. B times equals 3 for a new value of 36. And then C times equals 10 for a new value of 46. Compound assignment with augmented division. The divides equal operator divides a variable by another number. MyVar is assigned MyVar divided by 5. We will divide MyVar by 5. This can be rewritten as MyVar divide equals 5. Convert the assignments for A, B, and C to use the divide equals operator. So we have A, B, and C initialized to 48, 108, and 33 respectively. And then we have some syntax that we can convert to use the divide equals operator. So A divide equals 12 for a new value of 4. B divide equals 4 for a new value of 27. Yeah, 27. C divide equals 11, new value of 3. All right. Escaping literal quotes in strings. When you're defining a string, you must start and end with a single or double quote. What happens when you need a literal quote, double quote, or single quote inside of your string? In JavaScript, you can escape a quote from considering it as an end of a string quote by placing a backslash in front of the quote. So const sample string is assigned Alan said backslash double quote Peter is learning JavaScript backslash double quote period double quote. So we have the double quotes within the string escaped in that example. This signals to JavaScript that the following quote is not the end of the string, but should instead appear inside the string. So if you were to print this to the console, you would get Alan said Peter is learning JavaScript. Peter is learning JavaScript in double quotes. Use backslashes to assign a string to the myString variable so that if you were to print it to the console, you would see I am a double quoted string inside double quotes. So we have const myString. We can copy paste our value in here. These double quotes need to be escaped using the backslash. Be found above the return key on Mac. So now double quotes are escaped, so the JavaScript reads this as one continuous string. All right, quoting strings with single quotes. String values in JavaScript may be written with single or double quotes, as long as you start and end with the same type of quote. Unlike some other programming languages, single and double quotes work the same in JavaScript. Const double string quote is assigned, this is a string, using double quotes. Const single quote string is assigned, this is also a string, using single quotes. The reason why you might want to use one type of quote over another is that if you want to use both in a string. This might happen if you want to save a conversation in a string and have the conversation in quotes. Another use for it would be with saving an anchor tag with various attributes in quotes, all within a string. Const conversation is assigned Finn exclaims to Jake. Algebraic. All contained within single quotes, algebraic and double quotes. However, this quote becomes a problem if you need to use the outermost quotes within it. Remember, a string has the same kind of quote at the beginning and at the end, but if you have the same quote somewhere in the middle, the string will stop early and throw an error. Const good string, Jake asks Finn, hey, let's go on an adventure? Const bad string, Finn responds, let's go. Here, bad string will throw an error. In the good string above, you can use both quotes safely by using the backslash to escape a character. Note the backslash should not be confused with the forward slash, so they do not do the same thing. Change the provided string to single quotes at the beginning and the end and no escape characters. Right now, the anchor tag in the string uses double quotes everywhere. You'll need to change the outer quotes to single quotes so you can remove the escape character. So we have const my string and an anchor tag with double quotes like you often use for attributes. So I'm going to change the outside quotes to single quotes to allow us to remove the escape characters within the backslashes to escape the double quotes rather. Perfect. All right, escape sequences and strings. Quotes are not the only characters that can be escaped inside a string. Escape sequences allow you to use characters you may not otherwise be able to use in a string. Backslash single quote gives us single quote, backslash double quote gives us double quote, backslash gives us backslash n gives us new line, backslash t gives us tab, backslash r gives us carriage return, backslash b gives us backspace, backslash f gives us form feed, starts a new page. Note that the backslash itself must be escaped in order to display as a backslash, as noted by backslash. Assign the following 3 lines of text into the single variable myString using escape sequences. All right, so got first line starts with a capital letter first line, and then it moves to a new line. So for that, we're going to use backslash n. And then we have a tab, so we're backslash t. Then we have a backslash, so we have backslash. Second line. Then we have a new line, so we're backslash n. And then third line. And note that within this string, we don't have to use any spaces to give us this output. Concatenating strings with plus operator. In JavaScript, when the plus operator is used within a string value, it is called the concatenation operator. You can build a new string out of other strings by concatenating them together. Example, my name is Alan, concatenated with I concatenate. Watch out for spaces. Concatenation does not add spaces between concatenated strings, so you'll need to add them yourself. Example, const our string is assigned I come first, space, concatenation, I come second. The string I come first, I come second would be displayed in the console. Build my string from the strings. This is the start. And this is the end. Okay, copy, paste. This is the start. Looks like we got a space in there. So we'll add a concatenation symbol, double quote, and then we can copy paste. This is the end into the second set of quotation marks, and this will give us the appropriate output. All right, concatenating strings with the plus equals operator. We can also use the plus equals operator to concatenate a string under the end of an existing string variable. This can be very helpful to break a long string over several lines. Watch out for spaces. Concatenation does not add spaces between concatenated strings, so you'll need to add them yourself. Example, let our string be assigned I come first, space. Our string plus equals I come second. Our string now has a value of the strings I come first, I come second. Build my string over several lines by concatenating these two strings. This is the first sentence and this is the second sentence. Using the plus equals operator. Use the plus equals operator similar to how I was shown in the example, and be sure to include a space between the two strings. Start by assigning the first string to my string. So we have let my string declared. Now we can assign it. We assign it. This is the first sentence. And then we can, so now that it has a value, it's no longer undefined, we can use the plus equals operator to add a value to it, starting with that space. Oh, I forgot a period in the first one. All right, that should do it. Cool. Constructing strings with variables. Sometimes you will need to build a string. By using the concatenation operator, you can insert one or more variables into a string you're building. Example, const our name is assigned freeCodeCamp. Const our string. Hello, our name is concatenation, our name, concatenation. How are you? Our string would have the value of the string. Hello, our name is freeCodeCamp. How are you? Set my name to a string equal to your name and build my string with my name between the quotes. My name is, and I am well. All right, so we have const my name assigned an empty string, which I'll plug my name into. And we have const my string build my string with my name. Okay, so my name is, and then concatenation. So you could also do this by concatenating just space here. And we'll do it that way, just to show you that that's an option. Appending variables to strings. Just as we can build a string over multiple lines out of string literals, we can also append variables to a string using the plus equals operator. Example, const an adjective is assigned awesome. Let our string be assigned freeCodeCamp is, not the space, our string plus equals an adjective. Our string would have the value of freeCodeCamp is awesome. Set some adjective to a string of at least 3 characters and append it to my string using the plus equals operator. So for const some adjective, we are going to set it as fascinating. Let my string be assigned learning to code is, and then we can use the concatenation operator and the some adjective variable. It wants to use the plus equals operator. Okay. So we'll do that like so. Plus equals some adjective. There we go. Find the length of a string. You can also find the length of a string value by writing member operator or dot length after the string variable or string literal. Console.log alanpeter.length. So that dot is called a member operator, and it's used to demarcate that what follows is either pulling the property, a property or method of the object before it. And the string in this instance is an object. The value 10 would be displayed in the console, the length property. Now, note that the space character between Alan and Peter is also counted. For example, if we created a variable const first name is assigned Ada, we could find out how long the string Ada is by using the first name .length property. Use .length property to set last name length to the number of characters in last name. So last name length is assigned last name, but we're going to get the length property assigned to last name length. Cool. Use bracket notation to find the first character in a string. Bracket notation is a way to get a character at a specific index within a string. Most modern programming languages, like JavaScript, don't start counting at 1 like humans do. They start at 0. This is referred to as zero-based indexing. For example, the character at index 0 in the word Charles is C. So if const first name Charles, you can get the value of the first letter of the string by using first name bracket 0. Example, const first name is assigned Charles, const first letter is assigned first name bracket 0. Index 0. Not entirely sure how to pronounce that, but that's okay. Using bracket notation to find the first character. Use bracket notation to find the first character in the last name variable and assign it to the first letter of last name. All right, so setup, we've got let first letter of last name, it's assigned an empty string. Const last name, Lovelace. Only change the code below this line. First letter of last name, assigned last name, we can add some bracket notation, index number is 0 to give us the first letter. And there we go. Understand string immutability. In JavaScript, string values are immutable, which means they cannot be altered once created. For example, the following code will produce an error because the letter B in the string Bob cannot be changed to the letter J. Let my string be assigned Bob. My string index 0 is assigned J. Note that this does not mean that my string could not be reassigned. The only way to change my string would be to assign it to a new value like this. Let my string be assigned Bob. My string is assigned job. Correct the assignment to my string so it contains the string value of hello world using the approach shown in the example above. So for the setup, we have let my string be assigned to Jello world. Change line of the code below this line. Change this line. So it's trying to use bracket notation to change the J to an H. But instead, what we need to do is just reassign the whole string like so. Use bracket notation to find the nth character in a string. You can also use bracket notation to get the character at other positions within a string. Remember that computers start counting at 0, so the first character is actually the 0th character. Example, const my first name is assigned Ada. Const second letter of first name is assigned first name, bracket notation 1. Second letter of first name would have the value of the string D. Let's try to set the third letter of last name equal to the third letter of the last name variable using bracket notation. So for the setup, we've got const last name is assigned Lovelace. Const third letter of last name is assigned last name. And then we could use bracket notation. We're going for the third letter, which starting from 0, 1, 2, our third letter would have an index number of 2. Fantastic. Use bracket notation to find the last character in a string. In order to get the last letter of a string, you can subtract 1 from the string's length. For example, if const first name is assigned Ada, you can get the value of the last letter of the string by using first name bracket first name dot length minus 1. So I got that first name object, calling the length property, gives us a value, we're subtracting 1, and then that gives us the index number that we are storing in that variable. Example, const first name is assigned Ada, const last letter is assigned first name bracket first name dot length minus 1. Last letter would have the value of the string A. Use bracket notation to find the character in the last name variable. And just for clarification, we're using -1 because of 0-based indexing. So setup const last name is assigned Lovelace. Const last letter of last name is last name dot length. I'm going to use bracket notation here. Last name. Sorry, brain fart. Const last letter of last name. Last name. Again, inside the brackets. Then call the length property minus 1. And that will give us a string containing just the letter E. Oh, gotta make sure I'm using camel case. There we go. Okay. So I'm probably going to call it here because I'm noticing a little bit of brain fog starting to set in, and I'll probably be a little bit less than effective if I were to continue to try and press through. So we're going to cut it here and resume in the next video. Till then, you guys take it easy, God bless, and have a great day.